Hi, I'm Menno de Jong, and I'm here at Luminosity Beach Festival.
Hi Menno, how you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's about an hour until you're set, right?
Yeah.
What's going through your mind right now? Apart from the interview, what's going on through your mind?
Pretty much just looking forward to it. I just walked through the party, and it's really busy. Everybody's there for the music, and I think it's going to be awesome. So, can't wait.
Do you have anything that you really know that you'll play from now? Like, we're all ready?
Definitely a couple of tracks from the new In Trance We Trust CD, and other than that, a couple of new other tracks here and there. So.
What was it like to get the question for the In Trance We Trust? Because growing up here, growing up in Holland, it's a big compilation coming out of Black Hole Recordings or In Trance We Trust.
Yeah, and it's kind of a coincidence. I signed a track there, and I asked them, hey, what's happened with In Trance We Trust? Is there any new one coming, or are you looking for anyone to mix it? And so a few months later, they said, hey, we're doing the 20th anniversary one. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And they asked me to do it. So, yeah, and it's great to have Black Hole behind you, of course. They've been doing great on the promotion side of things and everything else.
How hard was it to select tracks for the mix itself?
It's always tough, but it kind of evolved naturally. I just asked a lot of people to make tracks for this city, and thank God a lot of awesome tracks were made. I was really happy with that. And once I had a good package together, I kind of looked around at what was around in the scene for the rest, like new promos and stuff, or tracks that I just really enjoyed playing for a long time, and I put everything together into the mix.
Were there any specific tracks that sort of set a standard for the mix itself at first?
Yes, Johan Ekman sent me his track Rocking. That was one of the first tracks I got for the CD, and I was like, wow, this is going to be good. I was really impressed with that. Another one is John Newell, Grand Central. Really cool track. And so a couple of other good ones. Gala Whipple and Tim Briggs did a really nice track. And, a lot of good stuff, so I'm happy about that.
You also had your collab with Adam Ellis in the mix, right?
Yeah, it's funny, we were already talking about doing a collab, and then I told him, hey, I'm doing this In Trance We Trust CD. Do you want to maybe make the collab for that CD? And so I started playing around with melodies, sent him a few things, and he liked what he heard, and then we turned it into the track that's on the CD. So,
what was Adam like to work with?
We actually did the collaboration through Dropbox. So I didn't actually get to sit in the studio with him, but we both work in Logic, and we were just working on the projects, and then tell the other person we were ready, and then the other person worked on it for some more, and kind of went up and down like that. So a lot of emails were sent. But I got to meet him shortly after it was finished at Digital Society in Leeds, the birthday. And the first time it was ever played, we were together in the DJ booth during his set. So that was kind of a nice moment.
How does it usually work in the studio when you sit down? Do you start with the melodies, like you said?
Yeah, I always start with the melodies. That's my thing. A lot of people put the beats first, but the thing I like most about trance is the melodies, and so that's what I've always kind of based my tracks around. So.
How do you approach a remix when you're approaching someone else's work like that?
The thing with remixes is you kind of get a lot of requests, but I try to pick the track so I really feel something with the track. That's most important, because then you'll have like a really easy vision on what to do with the track. You'll want to put your own spin on things, give it a certain edge or extra melody or whatever. Try to get creative with it like that. So.
Cool. You're playing here at in Zandvoort at Luminosity Beach Festival today. It's pretty close to your home as well. How do you see the differences between playing in Netherlands and Amsterdam and out here compared to playing internationally?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because a lot of the crowd here today is international.
Actually. That is true. All right, that's true.
It's maybe not the perfect example of a Dutch gig, but well, for starters, I love playing close to home because it saves a lot of travel. No, how does it compare? I don't know. I love playing trance everywhere, and trance is very international, and I'm trying to say that the crowd is amazing everywhere you go. And this trance family thing has also really made it an international community, something that's really positive for the scene. So, yeah.
So if we're talking about playing close to home, I know you just signed with 5 AM and you got your US visa renewed, right?
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It feels good. I was working on that US visa for a long time, and it kind of takes a lot of paperwork, but it's all good now. And been talking to 5 AM for a while about doing my press and stuff, and that kind of came together at a nice time. So I'll be touring again in North America, and they'll be handling the PR side of that, obviously. So good stuff.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, what's the process like to get a visa or to renew it?
Well, you have to prove that you are an internationally successful artist.
How do you prove that?
It's funny. You have to send them like scans of reviews, interviews. I'm not sure. Like fill in this list of other questions. You know, whether you're like a sane person or have a criminal record. You know, the usual stuff for a visa. You need letters of recommendation and that sort of thing. It's pretty intense.
I'm happy that it's solved right now as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have anything coming up in the US right now?
My agent is working on a tour there. He hasn't told me anything yet, but I'm waiting in suspense. You know, I'm definitely going to try to go to the usual cities like New York, LA, San Francisco, and Texas has been doing really well lately. And you know, I love going to Miami too, obviously for Winter Music Conference and that sort of stuff. So, and we'll see where else, you know, the tour takes me.
How do you prepare for a brand new city that you never played in before? Do you call your DJ friends and ask them what it's like, or do you have something prepared, or do you feel the crowd?
Yeah, sometimes I'll ask, like, hey, do you know what it's like out there? You know, do people really know their stuff, or is it like still developing? Like, a lot of the time, I'll Google around, you know, see what the Facebook page, the venue's like, or the organizer, who else has played there, and usually the conclusion is that I can do my own thing and like make it a real exactly. And obviously I aim to go play in places where I can do my own thing, because that's obviously trance, and you know, when the people, you know, when the right people for that music are there, that's obviously the most fun.
Do you ever get nervous?
I've been doing this for a long time, so I'd say no. I used to get ridiculously nervous, like my hands would be shaking before sets, but I think like experience kind of helped me get over that. Thank God. It's too much.
But do you have any last thoughts before entering the stage, or do you just go up and you know what you're about to do? Or
I try to know my music incredibly well and just know what my options are to play during the set, you know, and have a good idea of who's playing before and after me. Like, everything's easier when you're prepared, and I don't prepare it so that it's all set out, you know, but definitely so that I have enough tools to make it a successful DJ set and a good party for everyone.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to your set a little bit later on.
Thank you.
What else do you have coming up for the rest of the year? Tell me about August 2nd.
August 2nd, I'm organizing my own party, actually, in the Netherlands. It's called Menno de Jong and Friends. It's actually the first time we're going to do that, and we're going to be doing that in Amsterdam at a venue in the harbor, which has a really nice view, too. And I've invited some of my favorite producers, DJs, to join me for that. Like Will Atkinson, Adam Ellis, Rex Mundi, and Alan Watts, who's actually also from the Netherlands, a really up-and-coming guy. And I don't know, we're just gonna bang it out all day. It's gonna be a wild, wild party. We're gonna do everything to make it as fun as possible. It's gonna be like an intimate show. It's not a festival. It'll be like for a group of really enthusiastic trance lovers. So.
Is this something that you want to push more in the future as well, to become like more parts of the scene?
Maybe we're just it's kind of like an experiment, really. And I've been doing this Menno solo thing every other year for a while, and that's been going really well. And I think at some point, when the time is right, we'll take it across the ocean and other places. It's kind of a lot of work, so
5 a.m. is going to get a lot more to do, right?
We want to practice a little bit more for doing that.
So, what's your thought on the current trance scene right now? You live in the heart of trance, I would say, in Amsterdam. What's your thought on everything right now?
I think it's in a really good place, because for a long time it was a little bit confusing as to where trance was going. You know, there were a lot of house influences, electro influences. You know, you saw a lot of people experimenting with that. Like, you know, I had a good listen to it too, and after a while I just decided it wasn't my thing. And I'm glad at the same time people kind of went over back to the 140 side of things. And well, I don't necessarily mean 140, but the credible side of things, where it's not just about the biggest anthem or the biggest drop. You know, like there's a lot of good tracks out there that go a little deeper too. And I mean, right now there's a whole new scene around the 140 thing, with some of the old names and with some new names, and I think that's really good. We've kind of stepped away and said, okay, this is our thing. This is what we're doing, and we love it. So.
What do you have coming up release-wise right now?
Kind of a lot of tracks went into the In Trance We Trust CD, and those have been coming out like track like EP
like
after EP,
yeah.
you know, like singles after that. And you know, once that's all done, the next track that's going to be coming out is a vocal track that I've done together with Anim. She's a singer from Poland, and it's a very melodic track. And, I hope it'll do quite well. So going to be looking for remixers soon, and it's coming together. So I'm guessing it'll be out around September, probably. Okay. So I'll be testing it out in Ibiza and stuff this summer.
You're not playing it today?
It's like almost ready. Like almost.
Well, like, how do you know when a track is finished?
You give up.
That's how you do it.
That's how you. There's no other way. Like, they're never finished. Yeah, like I could work on one track for years. It's kind of have to listen to it on a different, like a good different amount of speakers as well, so you can hear if it sounds good everywhere. I'd say that's important. And
Yeah.
in a sequencer like Logic, which I use to make music, you can see how many tracks you've got. Like, and the tracks consist of like drum sounds, melodies, bass lines, whatever. Usually when I start hitting 50 or 60, it starts to come together. It has enough detail, you know. So that's like a good sign.
Okay.
And the mix has to be good and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. September.
Yeah, September. We'll see. But you're talking about this year, right? Not next year.
This year for sure. I'm not that slow.
So I know you have Tomorrowland coming up.
Yes.
This is your 4th time, right?
This is my 4th time. The first time I played was the second year they organized it. I played a back-to-back set with Jonas Stur, and there were a total of 9,000 people at the festival, which you'd think is a lot, but then I think this year it's 110,000 people per weekend. So I played 2 times after that. The last time I played, they had 70,000 people there, and I was already blown away. And you know, to come back for the 10th anniversary is amazing. I'm playing both weekends, and you know, 110,000 people at a festival. It's like crazy. I'm gonna be going all day, checking out all the stages. It's kind of like you know, the ultimate gig for a DJ.
It would be, I guess. How would a Menno set differ from an intimate venue compared to a set at Tomorrowland?
I think the set times are just a lot shorter, so you end up playing a lot more banging tracks in a shorter time. You know, whereas if I play in a club for 3, 4, or 5 hours, I start really deep, build it up, and it becomes more of a journey.
Yeah.
But you know, it being a festival and everybody having a very short time just means you have to give it your most banging that you've got for that hour or hour and a half, basically. So.
And I know you have Ibiza coming up too, right?
Yes, a lot of Ibiza gigs this summer. I'm really looking forward. I played 5 shows at Privilege in Ibiza this summer at a party called Sunk, which is launched this year. It's going to be really good. The lineups are insane. And I'm also playing Driftwood in August, which you might have heard of. It's been going for a few years. It's like a sunset yacht party around the island of Ibiza. And I'm also playing Captured Festival in September, which is part of the Island of Trance week, I think, and the official after party, where I'll be playing a vinyl classic set. So.
What would it be to play vinyl?
It's gonna be tricky. It's a lot harder than playing on CDJs.
You still have vinyl at home?
Yeah. I've, you know, I cleaned up a few years ago, but I still have about 2,000 vinyls left. So it used to be a lot
decks
more.
as well.
I had to move them every time I moved, so at some point I was just like, fuck this shit. So I kept all my favorites, and yeah, they're still ready to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, signing off, put your hands together, show your love and appreciation. Menno de Jong! Amazing vibe, amazing love, amazing energy.